everyone, so today I've got another foundation review. I've got the new Fenty Soft'lit Luminous foundation. I've got this in two different shades, one that's cool and one that's neutral. And because my skin seems to be struggling to decide which one is best, I'm going to try both of these on today. And I'm going to try one side with a brush and one side with a sponge. And I'm going to do a full wear test with an 8-hour check-in for you. And I've got two of the new Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tints. I've got this in Rosy Peach and Bold Pink. And I've got three of the Armani Prisma Glass Glosses. So I'll be wearing one of these today, but I'll swatch all three for you. These are new to me, so I just wanted to show you them and how they look on me. So I'm really looking forward to trying all of this. I do love a luminous foundation and I certainly love a liquid cheek tint. So I'm really excited to try these out today. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 47. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I post at least twice a week and I post reviews, my favourite looks, anything beauty related I think you might enjoy. And if you think you'd love this, please do like and subscribe below. And if you could comment down below as well, that would be fantastic. I'd love to chat with you and it really does help my channel a lot too. Anyway, my skin type is fair to light with neutral / cool undertones, which is why I'll be trying out both of those today to suit both sort of tones, because I'm trying to figure that out. In perimenopause, my skin is changing quite a lot and I'm finding it quite hard to find the perfect match right now. And I also have combination skin with a slightly oily T-zone. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get on with this video. So I'm going to start with shade 170, and this is light with cool undertones. Now, this is the first time I've actually bought one that just says cool and not neutral. I've tried neutral cool, but I've never gone for straight cool. And I tested this out yesterday and I was actually amazed at how this really seemed to work, because a lot of the neutral shades I've been buying have just been leaning too warm and too yellow. I don't know if anyone else is finding that, because neutral shades have generally worked really well for me, foundations for neutral undertones. And some of them still do work very well for me, but some of the new ones lately are just seeming to be too yellow. So that's why I went for one that's purely cool. This was a little bit of an experiment. This is not the complete lightest. There's a huge range in these Fenty foundations. I'll just give you a little bit more information. So there's 50 shades in this foundation and it retails for £34 and it's made in Korea. It's described as a Longwear medium cover foundation that gives a golden hour glow all day long and stays fresh. It hydrates, brightens and improves your skin tone instantly and over time, whilst resisting sweat, humidity and transfer. So I need to test the transfer proof claim. This lightweight waterproof formula instantly reduces the appearance of shine and gives a whole new kind of radiance. So I should get radiance but not shine, which will be interesting, especially in the nose area for me later in the day. This is just a right notch above natural luminosity in a bottle. So when I tested this out yesterday, I put my Ole Henriksen moisturiser on, which I've been using under every foundation recently, and I used the eye cream as well from Ole Henriksen, and it caked up terribly. It looked beautiful on application, but it caked up so badly all around here. So today I thought I'd strip back my skincare. So all I've done today is put a really light serum, and I've put a very reliable SPF that's very lightweight. So I've got a minimal amount of product on my face, but I am going to go in with the Ole Henriksen under the eyes because I had no issues there. And using this brightening cream under my eyes has been making just about every concealer I've tried work really beautifully on me, including a real surprise which I will be showing you today. So let's shake up this bottle a bit. So we're going in with the 170, and this side I will be doing using a brush. So here is one pump of it on the back of my hand. You can see it's quite runny, not pouring down my hand but fairly runny. And I'm going to use my BK Beauty 101. I'm going to tap this into the back of my hand and then start applying. Now, can you see how this is probably one of the most perfect skin tone matches ever? I think for me, I am wearing a bit of a tan at the moment, so when it comes to matching my neck as well, I think that helps. So I do wonder in the winter when I'm not wearing any tan, would I like this as much? And do I just need these cool tones? Maybe more so in the summer, I'm not sure. But I think this is an absolutely perfect match. At the moment I've got less than half a pump on the brush, and you can see how this is really distributed very well. It goes on beautifully actually. As soon as I put it on yesterday I was like, oh, I love this. But unfortunately I didn't love it at the end of the day. Yesterday also I had a tan on my neck, and I had applied it about an hour before, and when this met the tan it peeled so badly. So I do wonder if this is a little bit of a sensitive foundation that maybe reacts with lots of products. Obviously I can understand them reacting like that with tan, but I've never had such a strong reaction to tan like that before. And obviously I wasn't putting it over it because it was still setting on my skin, but as it literally met it was incredible peeling. It was like you could see it happen instantly. So I think you need to be a little bit careful if you try this foundation with what you've got on underneath. And the 101 brush from BK Beauty, I go back to this all the time. I try so many different brushes, but this is my absolute favourite. Nothing beats this brush, honestly. If you haven't picked this up, they did have a 30% off sale running. I'm not sure if that's still going. I think it might be, but if you haven't got this brush, honestly, I strongly recommend it, because for me it's unbeatable. It's my number one and nothing ever beats it. So there we have 170 on this side, and it's given me excellent coverage. It's easily medium. I'd say it's almost slightly above medium, because I haven't, you can see I've still got quite a bit of this on the back of my hand, so that's less than a pump on the one side, and it's given me exceptional coverage. All the redness, I mean if you look at the redness on this side here where I haven't done my face, and then look here, the redness is completely gone, and where I've got these sun marks, it's almost vanished. I think the coverage is beautiful, and I love the luminosity that it's given me. I think it is really pretty, and if it stays like this all day, this would easily be one of the best ones I've tried all year. This would be up there with the Gucci Cushion foundation, which I adore. But the skin match, 10 out of 10, plus 10, plus 10 because I think this is a phenomenal skin match. So this is definitely showing me that I need to start trying more cool undertone foundations, or certainly neutral cool. Anyway, we will now try the other shade I've got, which is the neutral. So this is shade 124. This isn't the lightest. Again, with this huge shade range, I didn't want to go for the absolute lightest, but it is light with neutral undertones. And here it is. You can see straight away it does look quite a lot lighter actually than the cool. So it'll be interested to see, is it going to be a bit more pale on me, even though they're pretty much within the same sort of shade range. I'm going to use my beauty blender this time, so I'm going to tap it into the back of my hand, work it into the sponge, and then start applying. Look at the difference in colour. It's certainly not yellow, it's just a lot more pale. So maybe if you are looking for a neutral foundation, these are coming across neutral, because that's definitely not yellow. When I'm not wearing a tan, this could actually be a better match for me. Because if you look at it matching with my neck, it's really not matching, whereas this one is a perfect match, but I am wearing tan. So I'm quite glad I got this now, because this could be my winter shade. Although I do think it's a tad too light. So if you're a match for me, I would go up one notch. There is another one in the light neutral range, I believe. This is applying very nicely with the sponge actually. It's not quite as strong the coverage, but it's pretty good. So this is definitely one you can use a sponge for. Not an awful lot of difference at all. I think they apply pretty much the same actually. The difference being I have definitely used up the full pump with the sponge. So if you prefer a sponge, I think that's fine. But if you want to waste less product, I'd go with the brush. So I do look quite strange now, don't I? You can really see the difference in those. But anyway, look at the coverage I'm getting here. And I do believe if I didn't have a tan, this would actually be quite a good match for me. So I do think I'll still get plenty of use out of this one in the winter, and even if it is a shade too low for me, that's fine because I can use bronzer to warm that up. I think I would definitely go for one shade up. You can see there where it's actually moving around a little bit with the sponge, so yeah, maybe the brush application is better. Anyway, yeah, so if you're my skin twin, 170 if you've got slightly cool undertones, and if you're wearing a bit of a tan would be my advice there, and going up one level in the neutral range. Looking on their website, they have a shade 100, which is light with neutral undertones. That's the lightest of all of the neutral. Then they have 120, which is light with neutral undertones, and that's the second lightest. And next it's 125, the light with neutral, which is the one I've just tried on. So mine is the third in the range, the one I've tried on. So this is how pale the third one is. And my next shade up would be 150, which is light with neutral undertones, and I think that would be a closer match for my current tan. So whether or not you need to do that is up to you. I don't personally think you need to do this, because I do think you can match tan colours by just applying bronzer and warming your face up, because it is very expensive buying two colours if you like to wear a tan in the summer, or if you just get naturally tanned. So it's entirely up to you, but if you are a skin twin for me, I think you might need the next shade up, the 150. Can't remember anything here. But anyway, I think they are giving fantastic coverage, both of them. They applied so easily, you saw it, incredibly easy. They really are. They're very comfortable. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It's given me lovely radiance. So at the moment, there's no sign of caking anywhere. It's gone on really nicely. At the moment it's absolutely gorgeous, but yesterday it went into all the lines here and it caked up so badly there. So I'll be very interested today to see how this performs. Now I don't have the Ole Henriksen underneath. I don't have any sort of vitamin C product anywhere apart from the under eye, just a little bit. And that's where we'll now move on to concealer. So if anyone saw me review the Fenty concealer, you will have seen that this was the worst concealer I have tried in possibly forever, actually, not just this year. It was a complete fail for me. No matter what I put underneath, it just seemed to really pill, and I had great big chunks coming here. It just looked awful. It caked and it pilled and it just looked awful on me. But because I've had a lot of changes recently in my skin, I thought I'd give this another go, and I thought I'd also try it on top of the Ole Henriksen brightening cream, because this brightening cream is making things work for me in a way that nothing else ever has before. And I tried it and it works, and that's what I want to show you. So I would like to apologise to Fenty for saying that this was a complete fail, because now that I've changed my skincare routine and I'm using this eye cream, I'm actually finding this an awful lot better. But one thing I did do yesterday is I applied it here, and these are some of the areas where I had the caking. So I don't want to risk putting it in those areas today. I will try that later in the month, and I can let you know in my update at the end of the month whether this concealer is working in these areas. But I'm just today going to show you under the eye. And if you want to know how I changed my skincare, I was applying a 15% vitamin C serum every morning, and I think that that was playing quite a big role in makeup caking and reacting. And going by the foundation, maybe vitamin C is something that reacts with Fenty products, because clearly yesterday it caked quite badly, the foundation. So apart from it doesn't react with the Ole Henriksen, which does have vitamin C in, but it's not that high strength. And the other thing I've changed in my skincare is I was on a very strong tretinoin prescription, which I've actually stopped for a few months. I am going to reintroduce the tretinoin because I think it's very good. I'm on tretinoin and hydroquinone, which I'm actually having through Dermatica. I don't know if you know Dermatica, and I do have a discount code for Dermatica because it is the best skincare system on the planet for me. If you look below in my notes, I do have a discount code. You can get your very first month prescription for just £2.90, I think, using my code, and month 2 you'll get 10% off. So strongly recommend Dermatica, it's fabulous. Anyway, I have been on just a lighter prescription with them for a few months. You can change anytime you like with Dermatica. You can just contact them, tell them what your problems are, and basically I said because of my job applying makeup, I need something that's not going to keep breaking up. So I wanted a break from tretinoin, and I was on the 0.1, which is really strong. I'd worked my way up from I think 0.05, I think that's right, to what did I work my, no, I even went lower than that, and then I went up to 0.05, and then I went up to 0.01. So it really got to the strongest possible level of tretinoin. I'm thinking now, have I got those figures wrong? But anyway, I always get it confused with the 0 point bit. But anyway, anyone who knows tretinoin, you know what I'm talking about here. I got up to that very high strength, and I think that that might have been affecting how my makeup was sitting, because since I stopped that, and since I stopped wearing the strong vitamin C in the morning, I'm not having these issues. So I am using vitamin C. I'm trying to put it on a little bit in the evening on the nights where I'm not wearing a strong retinol, and when I go back to tretinoin I will not be mixing vitamin C with tretinoin. So it's a bit of a fine balance with vitamin C for me, but I am using vitamin C products that are lightweight in the morning. So that's a very long skincare update there for you. So sorry if I've waffled on about that, but I just wanted to explain to you all the changes in my skincare, so you might understand if you're using tretinoin or a strong retinoid and you've just introduced it. If your makeup is changing, that might be why, and maybe it's better to alternate and not have that every night. So with tretinoin, for instance, maybe alternate and don't go for it every single evening if your skin is flaring up. I didn't particularly get dryness with tretinoin, but I think because it's such a, when I was on the high strength, it's basically making your skin cell production so much faster. My skin is just changing constantly, so the way my makeup sat just wasn't very good. So I will be going back to the lower strength and the hydroquinone to try and reduce these sunspots, and I will update you on how that's working for me with my makeup, because I really want to keep using tretinoin and hydroquinone. I really do. So I'm waiting for Dermatica to send me my latest changed formulation, and I will definitely update you. So now I'm going to put a little bit of this Fenty on. That's all. And when I did this the first time, it just bunched up so badly. And I'm going to use my Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N16 and just pat this in lightly, not completely working it in, and then take it into the eyelid. And this is in the shade 160W, and I go for this shade because it's got a little bit of that sort of yellow when you go for the warm, which helps with colour correction. So that's why I always use this sort of shade around the eyes. I'm going to leave that for a minute to just dry and get absorbed in. I'm just going to go off camera and do a bit of bronze and contour because I'm letting this absorb, and I'll come back and show you how I set it and how the concealer looks. So now I've applied some bronze and contour, and I applied extra on this side which was more pale, and can you see how just putting a bit of extra bronzer, a really light coating over pretty much the whole face, and then going in for more definition in the cheek and around the outer areas has basically evened up the colour, which shows how you can just use a pale one, your winter shade, and you don't need to upgrade to your summer shade. So I think they look fairly even now. So now I'm just going to set the concealer. I've got the Nikki LaRose, the two brushes here. This is the 14 and the 16. So the 16 is the one I use for concealer. I also use this for contour. And the 14 is the one I use for setting powder, and I've been using this a lot recently, but I actually saw a Nikki LaRose tutorial on how to make your concealer work brilliantly, and it is using these two tools, which I, funnily enough, have already found I love to use together before I saw this. But I saw the way she did it and I wanted to share this with you. I've also linked Nikki LaRose down below, her channel, which is phenomenal. And her brushes are linked down below in products used as well if you're interested in trying these. They really are very good, and you can now buy them individually, you don't have to get the set. So anyway, using the 16 brush, I applied it with this, and now I'm just going to go back over to make sure it's all gone in. It's had a good few minutes to really warm up with the skin, which is what Nikki recommends. I don't normally leave this long, so I tried this yesterday and it worked really well. So I'm just patting it in quite softly to make sure there's no excess sitting on the surface. And then I'm going to keep my eye up. I've got this brush here preloaded with powder, and I'm going to go straight in. I'm not looking down. And I've reloaded and I'm taking it over here. So that's the one eye set, and it's sitting really nicely under the skin there. I'll get a bit closer for you if I look up. So the Fenty concealer is working so much better for me. So all of those things are definitely contributing to that, because this was an absolute disaster. So this just shows how when you do buy a product that you have a complete disaster with, and obviously I tried several ways of wearing it and it just wouldn't work. That you shouldn't necessarily throw it away and give up on it, because it can start working for you. Your skin can change if you change your skincare routine, if it's a different time of the year, if you're having hormonal issues. There's so many things that change. So even a product you really hate, which I pretty much did with this concealer, it's worth going back. So there's both my eyes set now with that concealer. I'm so happy I've got it to work now, so I can actually use this out, because I think it's really good. I don't know about it being my favourite, but I think it's really performing probably similarly to things like the Natasha Denona one, which I love. I don't think I like it quite as much, but I don't know. I need to keep using this, but I don't think there's a huge difference. So I don't think you'll be disappointed with this if you just persist and do what I did and try different methods if you've already bought it and you've had problems like me. But I do know a lot of people bought this and had success instantly, so definitely my skincare routine was playing a part. And yesterday I used the Hourglass Air Brush Setting Powder. So today I'm going to go back to my tried and tested and loved #1 Givenchy Prisma Libre in the shade 3. And I'll take a powder puff, tap in and then tap off on my hand, and I'm going to set all of my T-zone. Now this here, this is where the problems were. And it started looking a little bit more cakey when I added powder. So today I'm not going to take this into the whole of my face, I'm just going to pretty much stick to the T-zone. So I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to go over with a buffing brush, because I just want to be extra careful I don't have too much powder in the area where I had all those problems yesterday. And straight away it does look a little bit cakey, you know. This foundation looks so nice until I add some powder. I think I'm actually going to take off this bit here and reapply the foundation and not add any setting powder, because I just want to see how this will look at the end of the day if I haven't added powder. So I'm going to leave the powder on this side, but I'm taking it off here using a makeup remover wipe. So I've reapplied the foundation this side with no powder. So this side, it doesn't look really cakey, but anyway, I think it's going to be a better demonstration in these areas, powdered and not powdered, and I'm going to leave it like that completely. I'm going to go off and do my eye makeup, and then we'll be back to look at the Armani cheek tints. So I finished my eye makeup, and now onto the Armani Luminous Silk cheek tints. So I've got these two shades. I'm going to start with the brightest one. These cost £36. There's 6 different shades, and it says it offers up to 12 hours of skin fusing liquid blush for pinched cheek effect. It's described as a watercolour transformative technology inspired by Armani lipstick formulation, and it combines intense colour with lightweight blendability. It has an optimal balance of colour lacquers and pigments which are blended into a water-in oil emulsion to create a vibrant colour payoff in a thin film that seamlessly fuses with skin. The unique texture stretches into an ultra-thin film without moving makeup, and it builds infinitely with a natural to more intense flush lasting up to 12 hours. So I'm going to start with shade 53, which is bold pink, and I'll be using my 109 BK Beauty brush, which is the only brush I would ever trust for applying a product like this. You could try doing it with your fingers. So it comes with this applicator, and the packaging, as always, is beautiful. I do love always the logo, the way it sits as you turn it. I just think it's so stylish. So I'm going to put a couple of dots here. I'll start with just this and see how this goes. Putting it fairly high on the cheekbone. It's definitely not too much, which is a relief. I definitely prefer buildable. That's actually disappeared, so I think I need a lot more. So this is called bold pink, but I think this might look bold on a very dark skin tone possibly, but not on me. So if you have my sort of fair skin tone, this is definitely not a scary one. In fact, it's quite a natural one. Now I've added more. That is really pretty. That is really nice. I really like that. That is so natural. And it hasn't moved my foundation from underneath. Hasn't moved anything. It's not emphasising texture, I don't think. I think it's really looking mature skin friendly. It's not emphasising pores or texture. It just looks so pretty. I really, really like this, you know. Like if you're a skin tone match for me, you're going to love this. But I do think this could look really beautiful on darker skin tones as well. So I'm now going for actually my third layer. My first layer was really light. I'm not sure I need this layer. I was really happy with the way it looked. But they do tend to fade throughout the day, don't they, when you use liquid blush. So I think maybe adding a bit more could be a good idea. So there's the third layer. Oh, that is really nice. One of the things Nikki LaRose actually said in the last tutorial I watched was to take this up really close to the eye. So I'm trying to apply this because I always think that I need a gap of sort of white here, but she says to take it quite close to the eye, so she knows best. That is really nice. So it's definitely buildable and it's definitely not too bright. So it's called bold pink, but it's not bold. It's more of a subtle, natural, cool pink really. Definitely cool toned. Fans will love this. Really nice, really, really nice. So now on to shade 50.5, and this one's called Rosy Peach. That's a very different shade. But again, it's very, very user-friendly. And I love the Rare Beauty ones, but anyone who's used those will know you just put one dab of that and then you're working like crazy to try to make it not look too much, whereas this just goes in so beautifully. Do you know what I would like to use this with is the Dior Glow Maximiser. I think I might try that actually. So this one I think is more summery. It's giving me that bit of warmth. So if you're going for more of a summer vibe, certainly if you were wearing in your eye shades, warmer shades, at the moment I've got quite cool tones. I think that this works better with my eye colour, eyeshadow colours. But if you're using warmer tones on the eyes, this was beautiful, even though I think both of them work nicely, to be fair. I think for my eyeshadow look today, maybe the cool tone slightly suits me better. I'll go in for a third layer, just a little bit, because I think it'll get too much. I'm taking it quite close to the eye again. So there we have them. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? I don't know if I can decide actually. I really, really like both of them. I'm so glad with the colours I chose. I think they're perfect for my skin tone. Really, really nice. They have just definitely not removed anything from underneath, and they were buildable, and they look so natural and so mature skin friendly. So for me, they are a huge hit. I really like that. I'm just going to add here the Dior Maximiser like I said I would. This is in the shade Nude, the Glow Maximiser, which launched last month. This was my favourite highlight of the month, my favourites video. I think this will sit really nicely. Because this is also such a natural looking highlighter. So I think it works. There we are, it's just give me that little pop of highlight on the top there. I think they work really well together. Really mature skin friendly, the two of these, they really are. Beautiful. Love that. So lastly onto the lips, and I've got 3 of the Armani Prisma glass, but they are gloss. And I was sent these in PR actually, so just for transparency. I haven't tried these before, so I wanted to try them today in a video. So I'll show you how the 3 of these look swatched. The packaging on these is absolutely stunning. It's a really sturdy packaging with this beautiful lid. Really nice. And then the doe foot on the end. It's got quite a pointed tip, which is really good for application. So this shade is... This is 07, and here is 07 swatched on the back of my hand. So this is quite a neutral look gloss. And then I've got 02, this is 02, and blended out, that's how that looks. And the one I'll be wearing today, because I think it works well with my blush shade, this is 05, and here is the 05, so this one's more of a cool tone pink, which I think is a perfect match for this blush. So it's not very pigmented, it's just giving me a very sort of light sheer coverage with that cool tone pink, which I think works really nicely with this look. I would go for a deeper one if I was going to match it with this side. So if you just look at this side, I think it's a beautiful match for that. Really nice and really natural. I think the two of them are quite natural. Really pretty. It's comfortable. It's not too thick. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle between the sort of really thin glosses and the really thick ones. There's no gloopiness at all. It's not too sticky. It's very comfortable actually, really nice. So these are beautiful. I love a good lip gloss, so thank you very much to Armani for sending these ones to me. I'll definitely get plenty of use out of these. I'll try all 3 throughout the month, and I'll probably include them in my end of month roundup for you if I'm still using them a lot. So the last thing for me to try today is to see if there's any transfer from this Fenty Foundation. So I've got a clean tissue here, and I'm going to go here. I wanted to give plenty of time to dry down. And this is the area where I didn't add any powder, so I think this is probably the best site to test. And quite a lot on my tissue. So that is not showing transfer proof at all, because that is not clean. In fact, I could feel the stickiness as the tissue. And you can see it's actually left a mark where it's removed it. Can you see the line of the tissue there? And it's been on my face for ages. That's not good. I'm going to go back in now with a foundation brush to try to fix this so I can give it the wear test it needs, but I don't think this is transfer proof, I'm afraid. I'll try the other side just in case there's any difference. I can straight away, as soon as I do this, I can feel the tissue sticking to my face. Look, there you go. And again, you can see the line of the tissue where it's stuck to my face. Can you see that? And there's quite a lot again on the tissue. So no, I mean, when I tested the Tom Ford, which also has no transfer claims, within minutes there was no transfer, none whatsoever, clean tissue. And when I tried the MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix Fluid, the new version, again, took a bit longer, but I'd say within 10 minutes, bone dry, no transfer. This one, well, you saw, it is not transfer proof. So it says that it resists creasing, it's transfer proof, and it's sweat and humidity proof. And I can also show you how it's already collecting in the lines here. in the first hour of application. So I don't think it's crease proof because it's going into all my creases. I love the way this looks when I first apply it, I really do, but it's not living up to the promises. But at the moment the cakiness is not too bad. That's one thing I would say, is yesterday the cakiness was horrific, and the side that I powdered, and I only powdered here if you remember, and I took the powder off on this side, so the side I powdered isn't looking too cakey. If I check in my magnification mirror here in front of me, there is caking, it's just not too bad. There's caking there, and there is caking there, but it is worse on the side I powdered, so it doesn't seem to like having powder on it. But I will use a setting spray. I think I'll use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. So this spray might just help to set it down and give it a bit more longevity, and I will do a full check-in for you in 8 hours time. So that's my finished look with everything. It's looking a little bit shiny at the moment because of the setting spray. I'm not going to powder that now to take that down because I want to give this a full test without any more powder on top. So the blushes are looking absolutely beautiful with that Dior highlighter, even though I'm very glowy from the setting spray. And the foundation is looking really good at the moment, if you're not looking too close up here, but I'm not sure how it's going to look later. So anyway, I will see you later for my 8-hour check-in. Hi everyone, I'm back, and it's been 8.5, nearly 9 hours now, so this has had a really good long test. And the results today are a lot better than yesterday, so I do think it made a big difference skipping the Ole Henriksen underneath. So I will definitely be trying this one out with other primers. So today obviously there was nothing at all, but I would definitely like to try this maybe with a pore blurring primer, something like that. I definitely will experiment more, so I'll report back to you on that at the end of the month. I'm definitely going to try a few different things. There is still caking though all around the mouth and chin, but I do need to look in the magnification mirror to see it. It's really not too bad. It hasn't settled into the lines like it did yesterday. It has made quite a significant difference, but not powdering down. My face has felt tacky all day, which I'm not sure I really like. I do like having the sort of radiant finish, but I'm not that keen on the tacky feeling. So I don't think my oils have particularly come through. So it did say it would stop, it would just give you radiance and stop oils, and I think that's exactly what it's done. I think I am looking a little bit shinier there than I was initially. So it hasn't brought oils through in the way that lots of things could, considering there's really nothing on. I don't have the Dermatica serum, which I always use, the mattifying serum. So I think what I'll try now is actually putting a bit of powder on, as you would maybe if you're going to go out, and just top this look up to see if it can tolerate the powder in the way I didn't think it would earlier this morning. So I'm going to try and really get rid of the sticky feeling. I'm going to take it all over this time. Yeah, and straight away it just looks quite cakey. I just feel like I cannot put powder down on this stuff. I'll get a bit closer for you. Can you see how cakey it looks there? And the chin area. Really don't like the way the powder sits. It was already looking quite cakey around there. Around the nose and around the mouth. I'd say it's 50% better than yesterday though. Powdering down. Even there I can see the powder. I don't know if you'll be able to see any of this on camera, but I'll get really close. This is where it's really bad. So I've got pretty much mixed feelings on this one, to be honest with you. I do want to try it out more. This is only my second day of trying it, so 2 different methods. This is the best method so far, but I really do need to try it maybe with other primers. So I will put a note, I'll pin a note to the top of this if I find a method that is better. So if there's nothing pinned to the comment section, I just haven't found a solution basically. But I will try this a number of times in a number of ways, and if I do come across anything that stops this caking issue, I will definitely let you know, but the fact that it's done this with nothing underneath and it's done it with something underneath is not giving me an awful lot of hope. And it's such a shame because it's a beautiful foundation. It sat so well, it was so comfortable. I loved the way it looked and I loved the colour as well. Saying about colour, just quickly before I go, I just wanted to show you how this compares to the Tom Ford architecture colour wise now, because I've got my pretty much perfect skin match here with a porcelain shade. Just wanted to very quickly show you, this is how porcelain looks on my skin. And here is the Fenty 125. I think they are almost an exact match. So if you wear shade porcelain in Tom Ford here, then 125, which was the one I wore on this side, the one that was a little bit pale, but that was because of my tan. So I think when I said maybe I'd got to 150, I don't think I would now with hindsight. Now I've seen the video played back for myself, I think actually without the tan it's probably my skin tone match. So this would be the one I would recommend if you're my skin twin. But definitely if you go for the the Cool, which I can show you alongside the Tom Ford as well. So here is 170, the one I tried on. This one for me was a brilliant match, as you saw, for when I'm wearing a tan. You can really see the Cool in this, can't you? Compared to the Tom Ford shade. So I found that really fascinating. I enjoyed doing that. So it's made me realise I will probably experiment a little bit more with foundation shades in the Cool and Neutral. But without the tan, I think I am still probably going for the Neutral one. But I really do love that Cool one on me. So it's interesting that the Cool one worked better with the tan. I found that really fascinating. Also wanted to point out that I'm wearing one of the other shades in the lip glass. This is the shade 07 I've got on now. It's the really neutral. I've got foundation all over this now. Anyway, that's about it for me for today. I hope you found this helpful. I'd love to hear from you if you're trying any of these products. If you've already got them, what do you think of them, or which ones might you be getting? I would really love to hear in the comment section. And if you've enjoyed this video, I would like it so much if you liked and subscribed and hit that notification bell. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for returning. And I hope to see all of you for my next video. Take care everybody. Bye.